What if I told you that your trash is making billions of dollars around the world? What if I told you that Africa is slowly breaking apart, and that one day a brand new ocean will exist where land stands today? And what if I told you that one of the most ambitious construction projects ever announced in Saudi Arabia has suddenly come to a halt? These are not scenes from a science fiction film. These are real global developments happening right now. Today, we are going to explore how waste has become a trillion-dollar industry, how the African continent is gradually splitting due to tectonic forces, and why Saudi Arabia has paused construction on its massive cube-shaped building project. By the end of this video, you will understand how economics, geology, and energy markets are shaping the future of our planet. Let us begin with something very ordinary: trash. Every single day, households, businesses, factories, and cities generate enormous amounts of waste. For decades, waste was seen as a problem that needed disposal. It was buried in landfills or burned without much thought about long-term value. However, that perspective has changed dramatically. Waste management has evolved into one of the most profitable global industries. According to research by Mordor Intelligence, the global waste management market is expected to generate approximately $1.97 trillion annually by the year 2030. That number is enormous. It reflects the scale of opportunity within recycling, waste-to-energy systems, electronic waste recovery, hazardous waste processing, and sustainable materials management. Countries such as Germany, Sweden, Japan, and the United States have invested heavily in advanced recycling systems and circular economy strategies. In Sweden, waste is not simply discarded, it is converted into energy. Sweden imports waste from other countries to feed its energy production facilities. Household garbage becomes electricity and heating for homes. Germany has developed some of the most advanced recycling technologies in the world. Strict waste separation systems allow plastics, metals, paper, and organic material to be processed efficiently. The goal is to keep materials in use for as long as possible, reducing dependence on new raw resources. Japan operates highly advanced waste-to-energy plants, especially in densely populated cities where landfill space is limited. These facilities incinerate waste under controlled conditions to generate power while minimizing environmental impact. Electronic waste has become another highly valuable sector. Discarded smartphones, computers, and batteries contain rare earth elements and precious metals such as gold, silver, and palladium. Specialized facilities extract these materials, turning old devices into valuable industrial inputs. The question is no longer who produces the most waste. The important question is who has built the infrastructure and technology to transform waste into revenue. As environmental regulations tighten and climate awareness increases, waste is increasingly viewed as a resource rather than a burden. Now let us shift from economics to geology. Africa, the second largest continent on Earth, is undergoing a slow but powerful transformation beneath its surface. Scientists studying the East African Rift System have documented that tectonic plates beneath the continent are gradually pulling apart. This rift system extends thousands of kilometers from Mozambique in the south through Tanzania, Kenya, and Ethiopia. In certain regions, visible cracks have appeared in the ground after heavy rainfall or seismic activity. These dramatic surface fractures capture attention, but the deeper process is far more significant. The African plate is gradually dividing into two separate tectonic plates, often referred to as the Nubian plate and the Somali plate. As these plates move away from each other at a rate of a few millimeters per year, the crust between them thins. Magma from the mantle rises upward, weakening the continental structure. Over millions of years, this separation will widen. Eventually, seawater from the Indian Ocean will flow into the Rift Valley, creating a new ocean basin. This geological process is similar to how the Atlantic Ocean formed when ancient landmasses separated during the breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea. Although this transformation will take millions of years, the scientific evidence clearly indicates that the African continent is slowly reshaping. Future generations, far in the distant future, could see entirely new coastlines and maritime routes where land currently exists. Now let us turn to Saudi Arabia and its ambitious development strategy. Saudi Arabia launched a comprehensive national reform initiative known as Vision 2030. This program was designed to reduce the country's dependence on oil revenues and diversify the economy into tourism, technology, entertainment, and global investment sectors. One of the most eye-catching projects announced under Vision 2030 was the Mukab. The Muqab was planned as a massive cube-shaped structure located in the capital city of Riyadh. The design called for a building measuring 400 meters in height, 400 meters in width, and 400 meters in length. Inside this enormous structure, developers proposed an immersive digital dome powered by advanced artificial intelligence systems. The interior was planned to contain a towering ziggurat-inspired architectural form rising approximately 300 meters high. Promotional materials claimed that the structure could accommodate the equivalent volume of 20 Empire State Buildings. The Muqab symbolized bold ambition. It was intended to represent a new era of futuristic urban development in the desert. However, according to reporting by Reuters, construction activities have been halted. Initial excavation work had begun, but progress has stopped while authorities reassess financial feasibility and strategic priorities. The underlying reason relates to oil prices. Saudi Arabia relies heavily on oil revenue to finance government spending and development projects. Analysts estimate that oil prices need to remain within a range of approximately $90 to $110 per barrel for the national budget to remain balanced. When oil prices fall below this level, fiscal pressure increases. As a result, Saudi Arabia is recalculating. Rather than moving forward aggressively with every mega project simultaneously, decision makers are evaluating which initiatives align most effectively with long-term economic stability. This shift does not necessarily mean permanent cancellation. It represents strategic adjustment in response to market realities. When we examine these three stories together, a larger pattern becomes visible. Waste is becoming one of the most valuable urban resources in the modern economy. Continents are slowly reshaping due to deep geological forces. Energy-dependent nations are reassessing large-scale development projects based on global oil markets. Each story reflects transformation. Economies are evolving. Landscapes are shifting. National strategies are being refined. The world is not static. It is dynamic and constantly adjusting to financial, environmental, and geological pressures. Now I would like to hear from you. Which development surprised you the most? The trillion-dollar waste industry? The formation of a future ocean in East Africa? Or the pause of one of the most ambitious construction projects in Saudi Arabia? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you find global transformation stories interesting and informative, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications so you do not miss future updates. The world is changing in powerful ways. Together, we can understand what those changes mean for our shared future.